Welcome, podcast listeners. This is episode number 120, but I'm not quite sure because we've already done a 120 before. So this is probably going to be 120A, and the other one will be 120B. This will make sense if I get my release schedules on the go properly, which probably won't happen. You're here with your host, a confused and perplexed Mr. BudgetPedalChap. You are also joined by Mr. Matthew Quine. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, it feels like home. It feels like home because as I preceded this podcast with mention of the podcast that we did. That was in a car. It was sat in a steamy, horrible... I mean, the car was lovely, but not an ideal situation to be podcasting in. And now I'm sitting in my lovely red chair. I've got me drink next to me, and I've got a little sparkly dolphin booklet full of notes. I feel safe. I feel warm. This is home. This is podcasting home. Oh, how are you, Matt? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. I've had a day off work today, so I'm nice and kind of relaxed for a change.
That's
as opposed to finishing work and thinking, right, I've got an hour to get home, get myself a drink, and sit in front of my computer and hope it turns on in time.
Yeah, I've got to admit, it's seeming less and less likely that my computer's going to be playing ball as the weeks go on, and I don't know what I'm going to do when my computer gives up the ghost. So we might just have it might just be like a written podcast. If that happens, just have to do it like the text format.
Go back to the late 90s and have a blogcast.
Yeah, a little bit like the beta newsletter, and just every week we release it as an email thread. Oh, that'd be delightfully retro, wouldn't it?
It would.
That's making me really show my age as well. But that's what Fridays used to be for me. Get on MSN Messenger, read the beta newsletter, and chat to all the people who I could probably have gone to visit if I weren't so lazy.
Yeah, and you probably saw them 3 hours ago at school. Yeah,
it was exactly that. Yeah, I'd go directly from slacking off at school and not doing the work whilst chatting to them, go home, slap myself on Messenger, chat to them again, and
not do your homework.
yeah. And I really remember it being very much like the modern equivalent would be when you're sitting about 8:00 at night. You've done all of everything that you need to do. There's some crap telly on, and you've got your mobile in your hand, and you go on Facebook. But nothing's changed since the last time you checked it, which was 10 minutes ago. And you're just scrolling through it because you feel like there's this ingrained sense of you actually needing to do it. So you're just sitting there scrolling through it, and you think, nah, there's nothing new. I'm going to turn it off. And then 5 minutes later, you're doing exactly the same thing. You find yourself doing exactly the same thing. MSN was exactly like that. You'd pop up, the same people pop up. What you been up to? Oh, not much. For you? Yeah, not much. Sweet. You doing? Oh, just chilling. And it'd just be that kind of mundane cycle. Instead of actually doing stuff to, better yourself or learning things. You'd just be... I mean, occasionally I'd do it whilst having a guitar on my lap, which is why I learned more than just basic chords. But it was the kind of early 2000s equivalent of scrolling through Facebook mindlessly. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I had the same kind of experiences. I'm slightly younger than you, not too much, but we had Bebo on the go as well as Facebook Messenger, as well as MSN Messenger at the same time. But it was all just monotonous shit.
Yeah, shit, mate. Like, you've brought back because it was MySpace. It was the MySpace generation. Like once, like you'd have your MSN open, but then you'd scroll through MySpace, and like maybe someone would update their photo or their fucking their homepage music, which was so intrusive that when you clicked on their homepage, it would just blast a song at you. Oh
yeah, and those were the days.
Yeah, that, kids, is what the internet used to be like. Yeah, it hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, like it just wasn't called Facebook. It was just called either MySpace or Bebo or just.
Yeah. It was the same experience. It was just spread out over 3 different places rather than all being centralised in Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. It was. Yeah, it was just a. We all had the same things to do. We just also had the slowest internet connection in the world because I didn't get broadband until I was 16. So you used to have to plug in. You didn't plug into there was no router. You plugged
a
cable into your modem in the back of your PC, which you won't know what a modem is. You won't
get that, you get that horrible.
Beep beep. Yeah.
Oh man, and this is where we're going to polarize our audience here. We're going to have like 50% of the guys out there who are just like they're getting like fond flashbacks of that sound that we just did because we absolutely nailed it there, Matthew. We absolutely nailed it. And then you're gonna get the people who are like under 25 and they're going, "What are these fucking old people doing?" Like, I know that.
What have they taken before they started this cast?
Yeah, it's this kind of conversation, which is the thing that will spur Stuart Tate to get in the Facebook group and post one of his favourite pictures, which is Abe Simpson, old man shouts at cloud, and he's probably already there. So take that, Stuart.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. So what have you been up to? We'll do it a different way around this time. What have you been up to this week, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap?
Yeah, I've done shitloads, absolutely shitloads. That's why I was going to do it the normal way round, where we do your stuff. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll give a quick what I've been up to. We'll back and forth. Let's see. Let's do it that way. So we break it up a little bit. So I will start. What have I done? Yeah, okay.
I've done loads of things. What have I done?
And that's it. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what order I've got it in because like 5 minutes before I logged on to Hangouts, I wrote this. So it shows you the preparation that goes into this. So when this podcast comes out, 2 weeks ago, there was three videos drop within 3 days that included me. So that's part of what I've been busy. One of those videos, the first video to drop was a video that I've been promising to do for a while and kind of plucked up the courage to do so, which is the Tate Effects Raise the Dead. So I've got a version 1 Raise the Dead in a custom enclosure, and I was intimidated by the prospect of doing this pedal because it's such an awesome sounding pedal, but because it's one knob, it's a difficult thing to come up with a video that's entertaining, because once you've done the sound, because it does that like fuzz, the good sound of a fuzz face, which is everything on 11. But once you've done that, it's difficult to then do more with it. But so I kept playing through the pedal and got inspired to write a kind of riff rocky track, because it's exactly that, isn't it? It's juvenile fun. The Raise the Dead. And then I showed off its versatility by doing like some cleaning it up with the volume knob and stuff. And then I leaned fully into it, and then like got my Hendrix on by putting a U vibe in front of it and everything. So like loads of different tones out of it. And I actually really surprised myself how much versatility I could dig out of this seemingly box of destructive noise. Yeah, and you've got one of those, haven't you, Matt?
I do, and I love the thing. And as I've said in casts before, I like finding places where it probably doesn't belong and just using it anyway because it makes me smile. Yeah, including like the end of blues songs and stuff.
I mean, I was tempted to just have the Raise the Dead sound in obnoxious places, like so play like some pop songs and have like, the riff of the pop song just played through the Raise the Dead, just inexplicably. But I thought
Love Machine by Girls Aloud. It works a fucking treat.
Yeah, but I thought instead of doing that, I'd use it for more traditional uses, should I say? Yeah. So yeah, there was the Raise the Dead video that came out, which got some great response. Then the day afterwards, and this was not planned, due to a clerical error in YouTube, it released a video that I was planning to have released tomorrow. No, Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
So like a week and a day later.
Yes, yeah. It actually released it the day after I uploaded it, which was a pain in the arse. Because by the time it released it, I was like, oh, well, I can't unrelease it now. The genie's out the bottle, isn't it? So I just left it. And that was a video, basically like a lesson video, showing you how to break out of box 1 of the pentatonic scale and kind of spread it across. I think so. It goes from being like the span of 4 frets and going like directly vertically up one box of the fretboard. It then kind of goes diagonally a little bit, and you end up spreading across 8 frets.
9 frets?
Maybe even 9. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's 9 because you go from 3 to 12, I believe.
Okay. Yeah,
because you were the A shape, weren't you? And you went A, and then you moved the minor third to fret 3, and then the end of it you can go right the way up to fret 12, can't you?
Yeah. Because I've done it over the 2 octaves, and then we've got an extra string as well. So yeah, in fact, it is. There you go, 9 frets. Which I found that little bit of information meant that I could tie all of the other bits of information that I'd learned, because I'd learned bits of like box 1 and box 2 and box 3, but never learned how they link together. I could play them up and down, but it didn't really mean much. It wasn't very musical, and using that linking method, it meant that I could like transition between the two or 3 boxes in a more fluid way and a more musical way, and it expanded my musical vocabulary massively just by learning that one little thing. That just because they're written out like this, it doesn't mean you have to play them like that. Yeah,
I found it very useful. I watched along, and then I was like, I'm going to have a bit of a play with this, because although I don't tend to stick to the boxes in the way that people write them, I kind of learned the octave shape and then move up and put your ring finger, so your first finger where your ring finger is, and play the same shape. Obviously, you've got to move down for the B string, but like just play like from octave 1, start the exact same shape again, and move down for the B, and then
so you've almost got like 3 blocks of the same octave,
But then having your method kind of then link some of those boxes together in different ways, and then knowing the box shapes as well, you then can like link all of the 3 ways that I've ever learned to look at those scales, and also, and all of a sudden you've got like pretty much the entire fretboard to play with, and different kind of musicality and different ways to kind of link them all in.
And I found it, even though the notes that you're using are the same, or they're the same 5 notes that you're playing up and down the fretboard, having them in different like places, having your fingers fall in different shapes, means that you naturally gravitate towards different licks in those areas as well. And
even just playing the same note with a different finger, you're either more likely to use vibrato or bend or slide, or like if I'm using my first finger, I tend to use a lot of vibrato. I don't tend to use a lot of vibrato with my third finger or my ring finger. Whereas like if you move a note that used to be under my ring finger and is now under my my first finger, I'm doing different things with it, and then I'm also linking it to different notes rather than just like always playing 3 then 4. Like it's now easier to link 3 and 5 together or whatever, just to kind of get different sounds.
Yeah, I vibrato the shit out of everything. Like no note is safe. I mean, we were talking actually just before the cast, and you'd pointed out that you'd watched the Raise the Dead video, and you're like, did you record the audio for that separately to the video? I was like, yeah, I did. Because in the video, it's played very straight, but on the track, there's loads and loads of vibrato.
Yeah, there's vibrato all over the place. And there's one point where in the video you're playing a chord, and on the track you're playing a single note.
Yeah. What can I say? No.
Like most of it you can't tell at all. There's just a couple of bits where you've got like your ring fingers just sat there and the notes wobbling a bit. And then there's just one bit where there's like a couple of single notes and you're there strumming a chord.
So I mean, this was my first foray into like recording directly into the because what I'd usually do is record the audio of my amp going through my phone, and then like add any tracks that needed to go after that. Whereas I was recording through through what I'm using right now, through Reaper. So I recorded my audio into Reaper and then synced up tracks with it. Which, I mean, the audio turned out fantastically, but as you say, the video may have needed some slight tweaking. And so what I've started doing is recording both audio and video at the same time, so they will sync up. So it's exactly the same thing that I'm playing.
Yeah.
But
so you're recording the video with your phone and the audio with your computer?
Yeah. Because the phone audio, I mean, it's not terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's much better than it was 10 years ago. But it's never going to be as good as a microphone in front of an amp, or I'm using like preamps into impulse responses these days because they don't wake children. So. That's worked out pretty well. I've been it says it in the video descriptions, but I've been using the Celestion impulse responses, which I cannot recommend highly enough. They sound fantastic, and in fact, they actually give you some free ones. If you sign up to their newsletter, you get I think it's a bunch of vintage 30s, like. Of vintage 30 impulse responses.
So the ones you want?
Yeah. I mean,
you either want a cream back, a green back, or a vintage 30. Those would be the three that I'd want.
Well, I mean, from Celestion, there's a bunch. You could do the Alnico Blue, the Alnico Gold.
Yeah, I mean, people rave over them. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, but it gives you a different flavour because they're more kind of chimey, aren't they?
Yeah, very much.
Whereas the greenbacks tend to smoothen out the top end because they pair really well with Marshalls, which if you run Marshalls through anything other than greenbacks or vintage 30s, you'll find that they're very fizzy at the top end, and the greenbacks tend to smoothen that out. But yeah, so I got some Celestion. I got a vintage 30, vintage 30, like a bunch of vintage 30 impulse responses, and I've got a greenback response from somewhere. I think that's what I use. I use them in a pair because they pair quite nicely.
Yeah.
I know, going really fancy, considering my actual amp. The one that sat next to me is a Blackstar HT5 with the stock speaker, which is they really get ragged on the Blackstars because they've either got the
820.
The 7080 is the 12-inch version, or I think this one's called the Super 8, which is like the 8-inch version of that.
Yeah.
I think they work really well with the Blackstar stuff. They sound fine, but people rag on them something rotten.
I think that's just the way with anything, though. Somebody's going to find a problem with whatever you're using. If you pair it with vintage 30, somebody's going to say that it's not the right thing to use with that amp. If you pair it with those, they're going to say they're cheap and nasty, or like they sound crap, or whatever. Like whatever sounds good to you, use it. Yeah,
well, that's the ultimate thing, isn't it? In the Blackstar forums, which I've quit, but we shan't get into that. But the consensus was that vintage 30s are the speaker of choice with the Blackstars. Almost everyone says, yeah, rip out the 7080s or the Blackbird speaker and get in a vintage 30. And it's
was that for the digital one or the modelling one?
That was for the
HT series.
HT series, yeah.
Okay,
or the series ones as well. They say that they're particularly good with the V30s. I have got a vintage 30 kicking around somewhere, but yeah, it's not going to fit in this 8-inch speaker housing. I know that for a fact.
The 12-inch vintage 30.
Yeah. Just ram
the struggle.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I've got somewhere around. I've got a one of the old Line 6 Spider valve amps, and they came stock with a vintage 30 speaker. And the amp is in a state where it doesn't work at the moment, and I think it's only the input jack which isn't working. But it would be nice to switch the speaker out of that, put it into something that's, not a spider valve. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find that and make that happen. We're like 20 minutes into the cast. So, Matt, what have you been doing this week?
Since the last cast, I've been fairly quiet in terms of I've not had any gigs, I've not had any practices because people keep going on holiday, or just it's a quiet time of the year for gigs for the first band. We're not in wedding season anymore. We're not quite in Christmas party season yet for like private functions. So been fairly quiet. Most of my time has been spent playing the Telecaster and the Marshall Origin because I'm still absolutely digging the sound that I'm getting out of them. I haven't got around to changing any of the bits for the Tele yet. My decision was do you know what? I'll play it like this until the strings die, and then when I need to change the strings, I'll also change the scratch plate and I'll change the bridge.
Yeah,
just do it
that
all
makes
then.
sense. That makes sense. Because there's no point ruining a perfectly good set of strings. That, I mean, you gotta have to change it all anyway. Because if you're changing the bridge, the strings need to come off.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that whilst you're doing that, then you do the whole thing. Yeah. I think I'd agree with that. So that's not the only bit of guitar-y stuff this week, is it? Because
no, it's not.
Video
So
dropped,
what?
didn't it? Because we talked about it on the last cast that there was a certain video brewing.
Yeah, which was released last week sometime. No, it'll be 2 weeks ago now by the time this cast is released.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. The Les Paul that the Guitar Geek is doing for me is finished. And
Indeed.
It's in the UK. It's not yet in the Isle of Man, but it's in the UK and on its way to me. But the video showing you what the guitar looks like now is finally out, so you can go over to the Guitar Geeks channel and have a look at that. And it's almost perfect.
He's done an absolutely stellar job on that, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's like the finish on the top is brilliant.
Yeah.
And yeah, just everything about it looks really good. I've had a spoiler for another. He actually did another video that hasn't yet been released on his channel. That's coming out where he compares it to some other guitars. And
nice.
I'll leave him. I've not seen the video. I know the outcome of it, but I won't even tell you what guitars he kind of compares it to. You'll have to go and check it. Make sure you subscribe to his channel so you can check out when he drops that video, whenever that might be. But yeah, he compares it to another couple of guitars, and then gives kind of a rundown as to where he thinks it fits in comparison to these other guitars.
Yeah, because he'd done a little playthrough, and he spoke favourably about it then, didn't he?
Yeah. I think because he's ended up putting probably more work into this one than he did with the blue one.
Yeah.
In the kind of by the end of it, I think he's really sad that he's not able to keep it himself. But
yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on the guitar. I know it's going to play really well. It's a 90s Les Paul studio, so it's got an ebony board as well.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm really looking forward to have, because although I love an ebony board, I've never owned a guitar with one before.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like playability, I've owned an ebony board. I can't remember it being that much different that I cared. But it's the look on a Les Paul, isn't it? Having the ebony board.
Yeah,
and that,
it very much is.
I think mine's a rosewood. But hey ho. Again, like it doesn't really matter. Like it looks fine. It looks fine enough for me.
And that's it. The one thing I'm not 100% happy with, and if
what would that be,
the
Matt?
video, he makes sure that you're aware that he knew that this was going to wind me up, and I am now going to have a little bit of rant about silver screws in black plastic next to black screws in black plastic, which it's like what? It's just they stand out, especially when you've got 4 black screws and 2 silver screws in the same piece of plastic. They stand out so much. And this, this is going back to it must be in the first 30 casts, because it was the 2018 Les Paul Classic that sparked this originally, because they had the black scratch plate with a brilliant silver screw in the center of it. That just kind of on a black Les Paul with black P90s, it just kind of looks stupid. But
I'm sure we had Andy on taking the piss out of you for this one.
I'm pretty sure he did, and I think obviously he's remembered that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's done that, and then he obviously continues to listen to the podcast even though he's not been on in quite a while because he knows that like mismatching knobs like you've got on some of your guitars was going to annoy me as well. So he's put 2 gold speed knobs on and 2 black speed knobs.
Oh, I need to give that man a hug. Like he's made my day. like watching that, I was absolutely cracking up. It was brilliant.
Yeah, and like fair play to him. Like it makes for entertaining content for his channel, but I was there in the comments like it's fine. In my head, I'm going. And in the head, I'm already on Amazon ordering new parts.
That's it, yeah.
Like as much as I've complained about the silver screws and the black plastic, they'll probably stay because they like it's not as big as that one on the classic, and it's like not a silver screw and a black plate on a black guitar with black pickups.
Yeah, it's excusable.
It's excusable. I need to wait and see the bridge because he's put silver saddles on a gold bridge or chrome saddles on a gold bridge because the gold saddles didn't have any notches in for the strings to sit in, and he didn't want to cut them himself. I may well be ordering new saddles. I don't know. I'll see how it looks. I might get away with it. It might look all right.
Yeah. I mean, my thin line telly, I've got a similar thing with the tuners because I bought some gold tuners for it because all of the other hardware I bought, like the bridge and the neck pickup, were both gold. I bought some gold tuners as well. But with the vintage style, the vintage spec, sorry, so the 8mm holes.
Yeah,
they've got pushing bushings.
Right. Okay.
Pushing bushings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's an episode title.
Tongue twister.
Pushing bushings. Especially with a West Midlands accent, pushing bushings. It's leads to terrible things. So push, fit, bushings.
Yeah,
I think we're there. And
very eloquent of you.
Yes, very, very. Yes. And the amount of effort they take to get out was more than I was willing to do. I left the silver ones in with the gold posts, and they look amazing. It looks
just
much
offsets it.
Yeah, it looks so much better than the gold ones on the gold. So I left it, and it looks fine. And now because they're relatively cheap tuners, they're Wilkinson ones, so they're not like premium spec. But they work really well. The gold has started to tarnish and kind of silver a bit as well. And it looks absolutely wicked.
Yeah. And that might be the case with this bridge. Obviously, it's a Gibson bridge, and it is Gibson saddles. It's just saddles from a different Gibson.
Yeah, well.
And the post as well. He bought. I can't even remember what company. He bought the stop tail and the screws for the stop. I can't quite remember. It might well have been. But yeah, he bought the stop tail bar. And it was because it was a Japanese built. They were metric, but Gibson's all imperial, so he couldn't get the post to screw in. He's taken the ones out of his Explorer. Which, if he'd have told me that was the case, I'd have sent him some more cash to buy some Gibson screws or something, because I don't want him taking his guitars apart. But he's already done it, and he'd already I wasn't aware he'd done this, but yeah, he took one of his favourite guitars apart just so that he could ship this guitar to me at this time, which is just shows you how much of a legend he is.
Yeah, that's Andy all over that. He's for you. He's an absolute legend. He's a man after our own hearts.
He is. And he's put that together and he put some pickups in from a brand I've not heard of before. Nick Silver pickups.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's based, where he's based, but they look really good. From what Andy says, they sound really good. From the sound demos in the video, they sounded good to me.
Yeah, they sounded really good. Yeah,
the Swan set or something along those lines. But they're like vintage Path kind of esque pickups. It'd be interesting to see what they sound like through my rig, but looking forward to that. And they're like slightly aged gold.
Nice.
So yeah,
something to look forward to. Hopefully by the next cast, we'll be hearing about all of the fantastic tones that you've got going on there.
Yeah, and the fact that I've changed the knobs over already.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we've got, like I say, we've got shitloads. I'm quickly, very, very quickly, gonna mention a few things that I've got before we talk about the London International Guitar Festival, or LIGS, which is something that will be mentioned extensively on episode 120B. However, before I do that, part of that is I actually met up with Lee of Pedalboards of Doom. I met him for the first time at the last guitar show that we went to, but I met him again, and he gave me a carrier bag of guitar pedals, like literally, like a I'll show you. Yeah, Matt can vouch for you, and you can hear that the listeners there that was an actual carrier bag, and this carrier bag had a bunch of pedals that I was really, really excited about when they were released. They've not been out for too long, actually. This is the R Series Joyo pedals. So we've talked about them on the cast before. I think Lee has done a few demos for the Pedalboards of Doom channel, and he's mentioned them as well. I believe he did like a live stream as well, unboxing and going through like the tones of some of them. And he's passed them on to me because he knew that I was excited about them and wanted to give me some more stuff to demo, which was absolutely fab of him. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've got, and like a brief overview, because I've had an opportunity to give them a try, but not really much of a chance to put them through the paces. So I'm just going to sit up and look at them, because it's much easier to remember it that way. So I've got the Taurine, which is like it's like the name is a race of people from Warcraft, I believe, which are half bovine, half human. So you kind of get the idea of where that's aiming. It's a clone of a certain other pedal. I've got the Uzi, which is very metal. I couldn't even tell you what that's based on. Got the Maximus, which is like a dual. Let's say it's like a drive and a boost built into a like a 1590B. So like one of the bigger cases, like this. How would you describe, like, what size would you describe that as, Matt?
Like 1.5 kind of.
Yeah, that's about fair. So the only one.
It's like a broadcast, but slightly bigger.
Yeah, a bit like that. There you go. You get the noise of me dropping it on the floor as well. As per Lee last live cast, where he was fucking about with a box of Lee. I managed to edit that so it didn't sound so extreme, but it must have lasted for about 5 minutes, didn't it? Oh, he was just sitting there
rustling and moving stuff, and it is what it is.
It was, yeah. He made me earn my keep with my with my editing skills there. So Maximus Touring Uzi. Those are all the drive ones. I've got the 16 or the XVI, which is an octave, but it's a bit of a strange octave.
Is it a dual octave?
Yes, it's got an up and a down. It's got your sub octave and your upper octave, but it's also you got sub upper, like dry mix, so you can like completely mix out all your dry, which isn't unheard of with these type of pedals. But it's also got a control called mod, which adds like it's like a chorusy vibrato-y effect to the octaves. And
okay.
If you whack it all on, it sounds mental. But if you just feather it on just a touch, you can almost get like organy sounds. It's really cool. So I think I'm gonna have a bit of fun with that one. Then we've got the Aquarius, which was the delay, which was, I think we mentioned that it was kind of like trying to take on the flashback. So it's got quite a few modes on this. Let's have a look, see if what I've got. So I've got digital, analog, tape, tape echo, tube echo, reverse, low bit, galaxy, mod, and looper. Yep. So like there are some of those. There's some of those which are clearly geared towards a person like me. So like the kind of first three, the digital, analog, and tape, you can get your kind of reverby, sits relatively back in the mix kind of sounds, and then you've got some absolutely batshit crazy ones.
Yeah. Is Galaxy like a really big one?
I can't remember. I think it was like it had a chorus effect on it or something. It might have been chorus and like shimmer.
Right.
Okay. So, as I was mentioning earlier, how I was a little bit intimidated by trying to get the best out of the Raise the Dead because it had one control. This is the complete opposite.
Trying to get the best out of it because it's got far too fucking many.
That's it, yeah. And it's at least with the Raise the Dead, I know what to do with like extreme drive. I can give you like big riffs and whatnot. I don't know what to do with mental delay. Like I've never gazed at my shoes for longer than I needed to. Yeah, that's that one. And then the final one is this one. The one-man band. Right. I'm gonna try and show you this in the camera as best as I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 controls on there, haven't you?
And then a switch.
And a switch, yeah?
Yeah.
How would you think you would set the tempo of the drum loop on this?
With one of the twisty knobs, probably bottom right?
No. That would be a sensible one. That one says bar, which you'd think, okay, maybe that's like a speed setting. No. The bar, weirdly, is like the complexity of the drum part. So if you're on like the far right, it's really simple, and then towards the outer end, it's a lot more complex. And then you've got your style one, so you could have like complex Latin grooves, which again. I don't think we're going to be going on that one for too long. No.
Get your buddy Santana on with some complex Latin grooves.
Yeah, complex Latin grooves. I know of some Santana tunes. Not sure I can play them authentically. Like for usual loopers, you might have like a tap, a tap.
That would be a clever function to have, but it doesn't look like it's got a tap tempo.
Oh, right. See this little light here, Matt?
Yeah.
That. Can hear that? Right,
yeah, that's a clicky thing.
That's a button. That's your tap tempo.
So you can't hit it with your toes because it's such a small plastic button that if you've got shoes on, you're not hitting that without turning the pedal on and off.
Yeah. I spent about 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get the tempo on this, and then resigned myself to saying, no, there's only one speed on it. This sucks. And then I watched the video afterwards, and it took me a few videos actually to find the description. Yeah. So this is a public service announcement for anyone who may be thinking of getting the one-man band. That's how you change the fucking tempo.
The black plastic LED.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a bit strange.
Okay.
Tap tempo is definitely something that would make sense in anything like that. I think it's more meant as a practice tool rather than a performance tool, and for that, it's yeah. I mean the drum sounds were quite nice, and if I could get the tap tempo to work, I'm sure I could get it to make some tunes. It might even be making its way into some of my videos to give me a backing and make things a little bit easier for me, because at the moment I have to program things in by inputting MIDI into one program, then importing it into my DAW. So that's a bit of a ball ache.
I don't understand what you just said. I really don't understand what you just said. I'm very much a technophobe in terms of I can't do any of that shit. Like, just find a backing track on YouTube that's copyright free.
Yeah, I mean that would be the sensible thing, wouldn't it? That would be what the time savvy YouTube guy would do. Go, oh yeah, I'll pick up some simple backing tracks, and away we go.
The problem with the YouTube backing tracks is they don't have 1 bit in 6/8, 1 bit in 4/4, 1 bit in 2/4, like 1 bit in 11/15 and a half.
So yeah, that will be coming out soon. So on the we had a little bit of a chat about this before the cast on the Range Master, so the Hello Sailor Range Master video, which will be out soon. It might be out this week. It might be out next week. It might be out last week. Who knows? No, it's either going to be the next one released. So like it will be this Wednesday or the Wednesday after. But the track that I wrote for that was a little bit complex. And yeah, it uses the time signature 10/8. So there you go. At some points, it's not 10/8 the entire way through. Don't worry, we're not going prog. Well, although we actually probably are, inadvertently. So yeah, so I've got those R series pedals, and that should do me. Video wise until the end of the year, I would have thought, but maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
You know what you're like. You'll upload a video on a Wednesday, and then they'll all release on a Thursday, even though you didn't set them to release on a Thursday, and you've never released a video on a Thursday.
No. And now YouTube will be expecting me to release another one this Thursday. Never ending, mate. It's never ending. Don't get into this game.
And like I said to you before the cast started, I've tried to turn my bedroom to make it look a little bit more like a studio so I can record some videos at some point. So we mentioned that I'd try and do one for the Origin and one for the telly. So I'll try and get them done fairly soonish. And I'm sure I can find some other things to do some videos on. So I might try and get in on this like video lark.
Yeah. And I'd like one on the Range Master if you can, so we can compare notes. Because I've got one now. Hey. And I'll try and coax Lee into doing one as well, so he does one on the Range Master. We've all done one, and see how our different takes work. I doubt like either of you are going to do it in 10/8.
11. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
I don't even know what 10/8 is.
Yeah,
I get 4/4.
Yeah.
Get 3/4 in that I can think of a couple of songs in 3/4. 7/8 Money by Pink Floyd's in 7/8, so I can think of a song in 7/8.
Yeah.
I don't know any other time signatures.
Salisbury Hill as well by Peter Gabriel in 7/8.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, I can think of songs in those time signatures. 10/8, haven't got a clue.
You could probably, if you've listened to much Thin Lizzy, you could probably do 12/4 as well.
Is that not just 4/4? What's the difference between 12/4 and 4/4?
Sorry, 12/8 and 4/4. So,
right.
12/8 is. I really apologise here for any listeners who are musical theory phobic, but it will be quick, I assure you. So, 12/8 is a compound time signature, which means that it has the feel of one time signature, but mixed in with another kind of feel, in its most basic terms. So the way that you look at it is it's a bar of 4/4, but in triplet feel. So it's 1 2 3 2 2 3 3 2 3 4 2 3. That's where you get the 12. And Thin Lizzy were notorious for that.
It's almost like a jig, isn't it? Into like, yeah,
and like very much the same with 6/8 as well. So loads of songs that are 6/8 are basically like swung 2/4 pretty much.
I mean, to be fair, I probably play songs that aren't 4/4 and 3/4, and I just don't know because I just listen to it and play it. Like I was telling you at the start of the cast, I struggle with an Elvis Presley one, Trouble, because it's like two goes round of a normal 12 bar, then it doubles the speed and does one go round of a normal 12 bar, but instead of going then into another 12 bar, it's then got 3/4, 3/4, 2 beats, and then it's back into 4 bar. And every single time that happens, fucks with my head.
Yeah,
because I've got to go from like playing 12 bar to counting, and I've never done that before. And then like I just got it one week where the drummer's just hitting on 3, hitting on 3, hitting on 3, and then you just have to listen for the singer to come back in. And as soon as I worked out that I don't have to count, just drum beat, drum beat, drum beat, vocals is where you come back in. Fuck the counting off straight away. Ignore what the time signature is, and just play where I need to play.
Yeah. And even though I have some mild musical training, I am a guitarist at heart, and I tend to do that. I remember back when I was in school, and I'd not been playing guitar long, probably about 6 months. But the guitar teacher had every faith in me, and I don't know why. But he got me and my friends to play Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, which cool, awesome riff. But he went about it by trying to get us to count it, because it's in a very odd time signature as well. Whereas I have almost no doubt that Jimmy Page wouldn't have been counting that he wrote a riff that sounded awesome and went, "Okay, band, work around this." Yeah. It was probably John Paul Jones who worked it out musically and manuscripted it up.
Yeah.
If even that happens, but yeah, it was something like that was a 5/8 count, and he was trying to get us to go and you come in on beat 3 here, and we're like, no.
Don't talk nonsense to me. We start here and then we end.
Yeah, you come in after feel. You wait for the vocal. Hey, mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's not a case that you count in the vocal. You're giving it that little bit of time to rest, and then you just jump in whenever the fuck you feel like it. And I'm pretty sure that that's the way that Jimmy Page did it. He weren't sitting there going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. There we go. He wasn't doing that at all.
That's just reminded me of one of the status quo ones we do where I have no idea what the time signature is for one bit of it. What was the one that we did for one of the songs that we did earlier in the year, song challenges?
Down, Down, was it? Or was it?
No.
Sweet Caroline.
No.
That's Down, Down?
Is it?
Down,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Down.
So one of the bits, the yeah, and then from the quiet bit to the next time you do the it's all feel. I haven't got a fucking clue. I couldn't count it. Couldn't work out how to count it. Just ended up just going by feel.
Yeah. I wasn't aware that was even an odd time signature. I just thought it was like a rubato feel where you just hang on it until you feel like it.
Well, it's this. I would have thought that, but it's the same every time around. It's the same length of time, but I can't count like 6 3/4 seconds or whatever it is. So I just kind of wing it, and everybody just follows me, and that's what works with the band. But
yeah, because it's just solo guitar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just guitar on its own. There is drums. But you've got 3 or 4 strums before anything else needs to come in. So I've just gone right. I've no idea where I need to come in here, so I'm coming in when I want to come in. Yeah, you're setting the tempo with the 3 or 4 strums, so you're all good. Yeah,
I think we've veered off down musical theory avenue, and I did say, I mean, it's saying on my time that we're at an hour. I don't think we are. I think we're 55 minutes ish. But it's still pretty fucking close considering I said that we were going to talk about LIGS. So let's do that. Okay. So
get a bit of LIGS done.
That's it. Last weekend. In fact, not last weekend according to you, because yesterday, Sunday, would have been a live cast. Congratulations to you, String Butler winners, whoever you are. So I think that's been announced tomorrow as well, or yesterday. Sorry.
Yesterday, which is also in 4 days' time and not tomorrow.
Sorry,
this time really fucks with you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So we went to LIGS, which is the London International Guitar Festival show. Sorry, that'd be LIGF. And both myself, Will, and Lee went. We didn't see much of Lee actually. Lee was off gallivanting doing Tonepedia stuff, and me and Will did some videos. But I wanted to talk because we in the supplementary podcast this week we talk a lot about the places that we went, like the exhibits that we went to see and whatnot. But I wanted to actually talk about the show experience itself, because the fact that you live on the Isle of Man means that you wouldn't be able to get to these shows as readily as us. So I kind of wanted to share with you the experience of these guitar shows, Matt.
Yep.
Because, sharing is caring. So this one was Kempton Park, was it? It's like a horse racing place.
It's a racetrack in London, just inside the M25, isn't it?
You know better than I do. My sat nav told me where to go, and I went there. So,
yeah, I know where it is.
Again,
I basically, whilst you were talking about it on the last live stream, I looked at the cost of trying to get down for it, and it was just like, it cost me like 400 quid, so I decided against it.
I mean, it was a decent show, but it's not 400 quid's worth of show, mate. I can tell you that.
Next time we've got one coming around, I'll try and remember in advance to kind of book, because I reckon I can get it under a couple of £100 and it'd be worth at least experiencing one once. Because you get to like play all sorts of weird stuff, don't you?
Yeah. It's an interesting experience. And what I wanted to do was kind of compare the three. So with LIGS, the way that it was set out this year, and I don't know, because it was my first one, I'm going to assume that it's set out very similar amongst all years. So it's like a multi-story experience. You've essentially got like 3 floors. The top floor is like dining and like refreshments. So you kind of discount that one. The bottom floor was mostly like guitar shops. There were like the occasional brand down there, but it was mainly like there was a big stand from PMT. So they had like a big stand with like a few custom shops, a few like standard stuff, some of their like pre-owned stuff as well. Harlequin guitars were there, so Joe Branton from the Guitar Nerds, he was doing his Reverb stores, like live version essentially. There were another couple of different things, like Ernie Ball as well, who were there, but like had just the strings. Were there, so it was almost a bit like a flea market downstairs, but like a guitar-centric flea market. There was some awesome little stands. There was like a weird one that looked like some bloke had turned up with like for a jumble sale. Brilliant. But it was like weird, like vintage pedals. I actually saw an old Boss CE1 in the flesh. Like one of the massive, the ones that they used to use on the keyboard that like were hardwired. Like some vintage EHX stuff as well, which again had power cables coming out of them. And all of this kind of like mental kind of flea market stuff. Then the second floor was like more pedals and amps, which unsurprisingly was where I spent most of the day, because it was basically like a long, like two rows almost of tables. So you'd have like a table to the left and to the right, but then 2 of those, like a long thing, almost kind of corridor-esque. And on that floor we had like Maybury guitars, Tate effects, Hello Sailor effects, pedal patch, Xander effects, all within like the space of about 5 tables. So it was like like I mentioned, I met Lee for the second time being there. I actually got to meet some of the people that I've had like done interviews with, and like I've been chatting online, and all of these guys that do the Guitar Cartel stuff, like Hello Sailor Joe, been chatting to him online and have like built up a friendship with him over the past year, and never actually met the bloke, and I actually got to see him in the flesh. Same with Everything Joseph, Dave Rage, like Everything Joseph, who is now extremely of going to have won this episode of the podcast because we've not mentioned any news. But yeah, I got to meet Everything Joseph, and we had like a little jam as well.
Yeah, that was on Hello Sailors either Facebook or Instagram story. Your jam with Everything Joseph.
Yeah, and just as a quick aside, like the Maybury Blue, I think he's what he calls it, his S type. Absolutely fantastic guitar. But what really struck me is I couldn't hear the guitar that I was playing because I was stood behind the speaker. But on that video, it sounds amazing. It's Stuart's Gibson Les Paul, which has got Iron Gear Tesla Sharks in it. And they sound really good.
This pink guitar next to me, Iron Gear Tesla Sharks, they're in my pink Sparkle Strat.
They sound bloody fantastic. I was
cracking pickups for like 40 quid a pickup.
Yeah. So well impressed with that. So yeah, the fact that we got to meet all of these amazing people. The day was really weird because it was we like being on like the amps and pedal floor is basically meant that we were in the noisiest bit of the show. Because all the amp manufacturers want to turn their amps up because they sound better when they're cranked, don't they?
Yeah.
So there'd be that, and pedal manufacturers, of course, want to be able to demonstrate their pedals, but often case would be overshadowed by the fact that amps are louder. So there was a lot of kind of creative headphone solutions. Stuart Tate was rocking the Boss tube amp expander, which that sounded good. Sounded really good.
Yeah, If I had the 1,500 quid that they cost or whatever it is, I'd have one.
Yeah. I was chatting with a couple of guys on the cartel today, because one of them was saying, I really think I want to go for that new Strymon Iridium, and I was like, yeah. To be fair, it don't sound bad at all. However, it's pretty much the same price as the HX Stomp, and I think I'd prefer the more choice that the Stomp gives. Even though, in my mind, I think I'm justifying it as the fact that the Strymon models will be better because they're specific models rather than like a broad spectrum. I think I'd rather for what I'd use the HX Stomp for or the Iridium, I'd rather that than the other. But it's interesting, and like then one of them piped up and says, "Get a tube amp expander." I was like,
different price points slightly.
Yeah. As awesome as that would be, and it would give the best possible tone, because again, what I'm using it for is to kind of upgrade my silent recording ability. So at the moment, I run preamps into my computer and then do the impulse response load in there. But I want to do all of the processing out of the computer so that I'm freeing up the computer, the CPU, so that it's not having to struggle. And that would be done either through like something like an Iridium or like an HX Stomp, which does it all via the processing power of that, and then you just import the audio into your computer. The tube amp expander would do exactly the same. But I was just like, the problem is, like, the things that I've got to put through the tube amp expander aren't things you really want to expand. Like,
but it also it's called a tube amp expander, but it does reduce as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's exactly that. But like this, the HT5 is, I think I bought it for like 200 quid, and it punches above its price point there completely, but it doesn't quite punch up to the £1,500 worth of tube amp expander.
Yeah.
And then, like, the other thing is, like, I've got a couple of classic 30s, and they don't have speaker outputs.
Yeah, so you'd have to desolder it, mod it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a difficult job, but it's like, for the sake of like a more expensive thing, I'd have to do more to make that work than I would the HX stump. So. Yeah, I think I'm still sold on the stomp. But yeah, back on LIGS. So we got to meet like loads of the cartel chaps, and we talk in depth a little bit more about all of the stuff that we saw there. But yeah, so that the way that the day was broken up is you'd have, like, for every hour of the show, you'd have a 15-minute quiet time section of it. So the bloke had come over on the tannoy about 2 or 3 times louder than any of the amps going on. Go, all right now, guys, it's quiet time, so everyone turn your amps down. And it was so fucking loud. It was like a comical irony, the fact that he was telling us to be quiet in the loudest possible voice. But I suppose you need to be able to do that to get over the top of the amps.
Yeah.
And once the quiet time would happen, like, or a lot of the people would put people through the headphone amps. So, like, the guys with the amplifiers would then go through like a load box or whatever, and most of the pedal guys had headphone amps anyway. So, I mean, like I say, Stuart had the tube amp expander, the most over the top headphone setup you could think of. And yeah, so that was quite similar to the way that Birmingham do it as well. So in the Birmingham show, they had quiet times, and I think it was, again, 15 minutes for every hour, but they'd use a klaxon rather than a bloke shouting across the tannoy. But a load of people relied on the headphone amps anyway. There were quite a few relying on the Moore headphone amp systems, which I thought was kind of cool. The Monty's guys always bring a Kemper, which, again, like a bit like the tube expander, is like vastly overkill. The UK guitar show, they were a lot quieter. Pretty much everything in that was going through some form of like attenuation, and was really quiet. And what they also did is the stalls weren't as closely compacted together. They were spread out quite nicely.
Yeah.
Which meant that there were less things to look at, but the noise spread evenly as well. So that worked out very well. But like I say, like a bunch of the if I'm thinking about like KMA pedals and B-Tronics, they all had like headphone setups where they either had like a two note system underneath the desk, so that you could hear the pedals, like you could hear the pedals perfectly, but without making mass amounts of noise.
Okay.
So they got like really different feels. Lee said that the one that he went to in Germany was completely silent, and that everything went through headphones there, which he said was an ideal situation. If I had to rank the guitar shows in terms of like customer experience, like enjoyment, I would say that Birmingham would be the clear winner. Because even though it's like really tightly packed and it's probably the most noisy at the lot, there's so much going on there. You almost feel like, even if you've gone round it a couple of times, you feel like there's more to see.
Yeah.
And the one that we went to last weekend, LIGS, was quite similar in that sense. I know that we'd spent quite a bit of time hanging out with our friends, essentially, on that top floor. But we'd gone down and had a look a couple of times as well. We'd gone down to the bottom floor and had a look. So I don't know if it's quite a fair test, because we were there doing kind of YouTubey stuff as well, so that we were a little bit more preoccupied with that as well. Whereas with the Birmingham one, I've went there both times pretty much as a punter rather than quote unquote on business. I don't know if that alters the experience any. But yeah, like, so what I would say, if you're looking to do one of the guitar shows, come and do the Birmingham one.
I'd be up for that. Like I say, if I get a bit of notice, I'll definitely try and do the next one. I don't know what time of year the Birmingham one is.
Birmingham one's in February usually, around the later end of February, so like the 20th onwards. So that would be a good one to do. And if we can possibly get in passes for both days, so having like the Saturday and the Sunday, which would be awesome. And last year on the Saturday night, I went out. Was it the Saturday, or did I go out on the Sunday? I went out to to one of my favoured pubs in Birmingham with a couple of the guys. So there's Stuart, guys from Pedal Patch, Hampstead's, Matt from Fidelity as well, and so possibly taking you to one of Birmingham's great pubs.
Yeah, well, I think I'll definitely attempt to be able to do that, because, like I say, I'd like to do one just to experience what they're like.
Yeah.
If you're recommending the Birmingham-based one as the best punter experience, that's the best one to start with, isn't it?
Well, that's it. Yeah. To be fair, LIGS was really good. I would recommend that to people. It took me like a 2 hour trip to get there, and next year I'd do it again. I'd happily do it again. It was worth the effort that I put in for it. The venue was really good. The venue, like possibly a slightly better venue for that kind of event than the Birmingham one. The Birmingham one, the parking's terrible. It's kind of, it's a weird place within Birmingham city centre. It's on the outskirts. So the parking, if you don't get parking within the hall itself, then you're pretty screwed. Which I don't suppose will be too much of a problem for you if you're traveling here. But again, like the links, like on the bus and whatnot, you could easily miss it if you didn't know what you were looking for. So, whereas
I mean, what I'd do is I'd fly to Birmingham Airport and give you some petrol money and say, "Can you pick me up on the way?"
yeah, that would make complete and utter sense. Yeah,
that'd be probably what I'd be doing.
Yeah. You'd be better off getting Yeomans to pick you up from there because he doesn't live too far from there. And in fact, actually, he picked me up for the last show, so potentially next one I'm driving. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a plan. What else did we want to do? I mean, I've got some news. We're at an hour and 10-ish.
I think we've lost to Joe. I think we might as well ultimately completely lose and just scrap the news off to Sunday.
Yeah. What I wanted to do though, we've touched on it a little bit, and this can be a little kind of semi-news segment, because we've in the other cast we pretty much do this one proper news style. So the Strymon Iridium. What are your thoughts on this new Strymon pedal? Have you heard much about it?
I know about it. I don't know. And this is sound really bad. I couldn't give two flying fucks about this type of pedal. So I've seen that it exists.
Yeah.
And I've seen lots of people going, "Oh, look at this! This is amazing!" And "Oh, I'm going to pick one of these up so that I can not have an amp on stage and go into a rig, or it's going to be a great version of this type of pedal."
Yeah.
And I've seen all these people talking about it, and I've not got the inclination to read any of the articles about it because I just don't care.
Yeah. So, for me, it scratches the same itch as the HX Stomp, as I mentioned earlier. So it's there in place of your amp, so you could essentially turn up to a gig with a pedal board with this on, plug that directly into the desk, but then sound as if you're going through an actual setup, rather than, because if you plug your pedal board directly into a desk, it will sound shit.
Yeah.
So it will give the illusion of having a mic'd up amp between the pedal board and the desk. So there is that. For people who want that, so for people who are potentially looking for that solution, the HX Stomp is a complex little unit. It's got drive pedals in it. It's got modulation pedals. It's got all of these different. Yeah, so it's essentially like, if you think of like the M series pedals, which were like all of the stomp boxes you could ever think of.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you've got
amp sims, cab sim.
Yeah, all of these different amp sims. You've got the cab sims, but then you've got the microphones on those cabs as well.
Yeah.
And all of that like selectability and tweakability could be that step too far for certain people. I'm thinking the old boys here.
I'd be the same. Like, I would look at it. I would find 2 settings that I liked, maybe 3, and I'd never ever change it ever again, because it's just like you're so spoilt for choice that
Yeah.
if you sat down and you wanted to try all the different combinations, you'd be here till fucking Christmas 2028.
Yeah, and part of that that option paralysis is why you might think that the Iridium is a instantly more usable unit. And yeah, it is simply like you've got bass, middle, and treble controls. You've got a drive control. You've got a level control. You've got a control that's called room. So it gives. I mean, it almost works in a kind of like faux reverby thing.
Yeah.
But it's more of like the sense of it being present in a room.
Yeah.
So if you have none of that room on, it's like you're like slapping a microphone directly onto that cone. You just get a completely sterile sound, and it seems unnatural. I mean, they've given that as an option, so you can dial all of the room out, but you dial a little bit of the room in, and it just makes the sound feel like it's not just like a close mic'd, isolated, sterile sound.
Yeah.
And that's really difficult to do. I've had to do that on my computer by like tuning in a reverb plugin to sound like my room. So I've kind of listened to what the reverb in this actual room is like and trying to tune it as best as I can to fit that. And it gives a certain sense of space, but it's still not quite there. Whereas I imagine Strymon are a little bit better at this than I am. So
I mean, if they've put it on one of their pedals, I'm pretty sure they're confident that they're better at it than you.
yeah, and they've done it 3 times over as well, because you've got using a combination of the foot switch and the knob. You can select what type of room it's in, so like a small room, a medium room, or a large room. So it's got that as an instant tweak ability. But if, like I say, if you're one of these old boys who just want something that's got the controls of an amp and you want to dial it in, just turn that room a little bit until it sounds natural. Bang on, you're sorted. And that's the beauty of the Strymon unit. It's no nonsense. I think that's possibly where the other Strymon units excelled as well. They got all of these studio quality effects, like the reverbs and the tape emulation and the modulation and all of this, but in a package where they had just dials that were really intuitive.
Yeah.
So it's a really similar price to the HX Stomp, and which is why I say for me, I'd go the HX Stomp, because I know I am confident that I could probably learn that and use that and get it to a point where I can get that sounding as good as the Strymon, but then instead of having like a Fender, a Marshall, and a Vox sound, I've then got however many different sounds. Also got bass emulation on the HX Stomp as well. You got bass amps and cabs, which would be ultimately useful for me, like doing these demos. I'm having to use like a faux bass amp plugin on the on the computer, and it's like an emulation of a metal bass amp, and I have to try and EQ it so that it doesn't sound really, really metal. It doesn't work, because it always comes out sounding like a metal bassist. I'm playing like a pop tune. It sounds like these like leather-clad blokes playing like depping bass for me.
turns up with his SVT and all of the knobs removed because everything's on 10.
You're dying in everything. Yeah. And that's the bass tone that I get. It's not the bass tone that I want, but it's the bass tone that I get.
I mean, it's a bass tone at the end of the day. It's never going to be what you want, is it?
That's it, yeah. It's as long as it's a bass tone, yeah, it'll do. And I think that's probably where we'll end it, because it's getting late, and yeah, we've podcasted for a while. It's probably about the 15th time you've yawned in the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It's just, even though I'm off, I'm trying to get up at the normal time of a human being and go to bed at the normal time of a human being.
Yeah, well, podcasting to stupid o'clock isn't going to help that.
Yeah.
No, and I've got to thank you for the fact that when you are yawning, you're doing it away from the microphone, so that I'm not having to edit it out. Which is, you're getting a thumbs up from me, Matt.
Yeah, I try and if I'm not talking in the microphone, I try and stay away from it a little bit, so you don't have to do any editing.
Yeah, and that is the way it should be. But it's very, very considerate of you. So thank you for doing that. So if you want to catch us, that's both me and Mr. Matthew Quine, who I think may have gone again. Are you still there? Your picture had gone.
I am still here.
Good. I was having flashbacks of when the internet dropped, which you listeners will not know because I'll have expertly edited that out. Just be cut mid sentence.
Just stick a klaxon at the end. Because you were talking about LIGS and how there's klaxons to tell people to shut up. Put a klaxon there.
I might even go one better than that and have the Batman transition sound.
Yes, do it. Do it.
That'd be quite good. So yeah, if you want to catch us online, we are in the Fret Talk podcast group, which is awesome. It's full of amazing people, and Stuart Tate occasionally takes the piss out of people. We've got Doug Christ, who will post memes based on what we've talked about in the podcast, which is absolutely hilarious, and I love it. Thank you. There's just some amazing people in there, so yeah, come join the fun. We are also frequenters of the Pedalboards of Doom group as well. We live cast in there occasionally. Are we having you this weekend, Matt, for the live casting?
I can't make this week. I'll explain after the cast why I can't make this week.
Okay, but that's not a problem. Well, by the time this comes out, it'll already have gone. So
yeah, so I won't be there yesterday.
Yeah, he won't be there yesterday. Yeah, that's how time works. Yeah, if you want to catch me online, I appear on Pedalboards of Doom YouTube channel quite a bit as well. I did a quick count, and out of the past 13 videos that have been released since about February time. So out of those 13, I have appeared in 7. This is pretty good.
Good going.
Over half, isn't it? But I appear in a lot more of the ones on the BudgetPedalChap channel. I'm not going to say all because I have had some takeovers which have been warmly welcomed. Matt, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Like I say, I'll try and get some more recorded at some point so you can have some more of those.
Banging. Yeah. You are Heel_Matt Q at pretty much everything.
Yep.
So that's Twitch, Twitter, Instagram.
Yep.
Fantastic. It's like I've done this before. Yeah, I think that's us for this week. If you wouldn't mind, listener, you lovely person, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Share this podcast with your friends, because more people what listen, the better things what we can do. Because we've got, like I said, we've got the String Butler competition running at the moment, but the more listeners we've got, the bigger the prizes can happen. Like maybe 2 string butlers next time, maybe even 3. I could do with 3 string butlers. I've got at least 3 guitars that could benefit from them. But yeah, so I think that's us for the week. So from myself, Monsieur Budget Pedal Chap, from Mr. Matt Quine. Say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
It will be a tatty bye and good night for this week.
Hey.
Sugar. Oh,
Sugar,
right.
Honey.
That really polarizes us there, because when I think sugar, I think System of a Down. They had a song called Sugar.
I've gone totally fucking sideways.
Yeah, you've gone down like 60s pop, and I've gone down like 2000s new metal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's yeah. But yeah, I mean, Sugar would have been like the second in line. Or then Sugar were going down by those guys.
Yeah. As you were saying, System of a Down, I was thinking Sugar we're going down.
Yeah, that's a much more palatable song, if I'm honest.
Or even Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh yeah. It's really bad that we're supposed to be like these rock guitarists, and it's taken us 4 songs to get to the classic rock staple.